This video is about how much you really need to retire, and more importantly, how to get there faster, even if you feel like you're behind. Most people just guess at their retirement number, and that's why they fall short. By the end of this video, you're gonna have a step-by-step plan to make sure you're on track. Step 1, know your retirement number. How much do you actually need to retire? Most people have no clue. Retirement planning without a clear number is like driving across the country without a GPS. You're gonna get lost. You're going to waste time, you're probably going to take some wrong turns, and you'll probably run out of gas before you get there. One of the simplest ways to calculate your retirement goal is to use the 25x rule. Here's how it works. If you need $50,000 a year of income in retirement, you'll need $1,250,000 to get there. If you need $80,000 a year in retirement, you're going to need a nest egg of $2 million to get there. But this is just a starting point. If you plan to retire and travel the world, you're going to need more. If you have high medical expenses in retirement, you're going to need more. But if you plan to downsize or move somewhere cheaper, you might need less. And the good news is that you may be able to reduce the income needs you need from your investments by supplementing your income with sources like Social Security. But here is an important financial psychology insight. Most people underestimate how much they're actually going to need in retirement, primarily because our brains are wired to think that what's happening now is likely to happen in the future. But the truth is, expenses tend to rise over time, and quite often people think they're going to spend less than they actually do in retirement, especially in the early years when they want to do all the things they couldn't do when they were working full-time. That's why it's critical to plan realistically. And for my clients, I always suggest that they plan on spending more in retirement than they think they will. Here's an example of the 25x rule. Let's say that you're 55 years old and you want to retire when you hit 65. Let's say that you estimate your annual expenses to be $60,000 a year. Using the 25x rule, you will need to have a nest egg of $1.5 million. If that seems overwhelming right now, don't worry. We're going to go through this step by step to help you get there. Step number 2, understand the 4% rule. How much money can you take out from your investment accounts each year without running out of money? The 4% rule is an easy way to estimate how much money you can take out of your retirement accounts so that you don't run out of money. For example, if you have $1 million invested, you can take out $40,000 a year. If you have $2 million invested, you can take out $80,000 a year. The rule is based on research that shows that if you take out about 4% a year, you can have enough money to reasonably last 30 years or more. But here's the catch. If the stock market drops, you may need to adjust. Or if inflation goes up substantially, your money might not last as long as we would like it to. That's why it's important to stay flexible. And here's your financial psychology insight. Many retirees so fear running out of money that they fail to enjoy the retirement. But with a good plan, you can spend confidently without the fear of running out of money. Here's an example of how you might be flexible if things aren't going the way you want it to go. Imagine that you retire with $1.2 million and you're withdrawing $48,000 a year. After inflation, let's say that your costs go up to $55,000 a year. Instead of panicking, you can just be flexible and adjust. You could, for example, cut unnecessary expenses for a year, or you could delay big purchases until the market recovers, or you could look for part-time income to supplement your income needs. This way, your money can last without sacrificing your quality of life. Step 3, calculate your retirement gap. Think you're behind saving for retirement? Here's how to catch up. Once you know how much you need, you can compare it with how much you have now to determine what you need to do next. So let's say that you need $1.5 million to retire. Let's say that you have $500,000 in your 401k. In this example, your retirement gap would be $1 million. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone. Most people underestimate how much money they need in retirement, and they don't realize they're behind until it's too late. But the good news is it's never too late to start. This is how you can close that gap faster. You could increase your savings and investings rate by cutting unnecessary expenses. You can maximize tax advantage accounts like 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs. You can invest for higher returns instead of keeping your money under your mattress or in savings accounts. Or you could start to look to create more income with side hustles or passive income with real estate, dividends, or even bond coupons. Here's your financial psychology insight. One of the biggest problems people have is that they wait too long to start. Your brain tricks you into thinking, oh, I'll save more later when I have more money to do it. But For most people, later turns into never. That's why starting today is so incredibly powerful, even if you start small. Start today. The earlier you start, the less you have to save and invest each month. Step number 4, maximize tax advantaged accounts. If you're not using tax advantaged accounts, you're leaving free money on the table. One of the biggest mistakes people make, not taking full advantage of tax-free and tax-deferred retirement accounts. And here's how to maximize your saving and investing for retirement. Consider 401ks and or 403bs. If your employer offers a match, contribute enough to get the full match. That's free money. Consider a traditional IRA. Your contributions to a traditional IRA are tax deductible, and your investments grow tax-free until you start to withdraw them. Or consider a Roth IRA, which is one of my personal favorites. With a Roth IRA, you pay taxes now, but enjoy tax-free growth. And when you take out money when you hit retirement age, it's tax-free. And if you expect to have a higher tax bracket later in life, this is a gold mine. The contribution limits to these tax advantage accounts change every year. So make sure to do that research to figure out how much you can put aside in these incredible wealth building accounts. And here's your financial psychology insight. Most people dramatically underestimate how much they're going to pay in taxes in retirement. That's why choosing the right tax strategy for you is so important. It could save you hundreds and thousands of dollars later. Step 5, automating your investments. The easiest way to build wealth, make it automatic. Most people fail to invest consistency because they rely on willpower, but life gets busy. You forget, things come up, and before you know it, months and years have gone by without you investing. The solution? Pay yourself first and automate it by doing these 3 things. Number 1, set up automatic transfers to a 401k or a 403b from your paycheck before you even get the money. Number 2, schedule automatic transfers into an investing account if you're doing it on your own. And number 3, increase your contributions, even if it's just 1% every year or more when you get a raise. Financial psychology insight. Automation removes the emotional stress about when you should invest. The answer? All the time, every month, regardless of whether the market's up or down. It doesn't matter. You keep investing. Automating your investment also protects you from lifestyle creep. This is our natural tendency to every time we get more money, we end up spending it versus setting more aside for our future. Step number 6, invest for growth. Putting money in a savings account is not going to get you to retirement. You need your money to grow. If you're keeping all your money in a savings account or under your mattress, you're actually losing money due to inflation. Here's some of the best investing mindsets for do-it-yourself investors. Number 1, research index funds over picking individual stocks. Index funds are typically low cost and they give you wide exposure to a bunch of different stocks. Number 2, research target date funds. Target date funds are typically a collection of index funds that adjust over time and get more conservative as you get closer to retirement. And also make sure that you are diversified. You want your portfolio to hold a mix of international stocks and US stocks and bonds and precious metals and real estate. You want a bunch of asset classes. And then you would make sure that your combination of assets are at a percentage that really fits with your investment style, with your risk tolerance, and your financial goals. And this can be pretty complicated, which is why it can be of great use to work with a certified financial planner. Now, remember, the US stock market historically has returned over 10% a year on an annual average basis. Based on those historic returns, if you invested $10,000 today and got a 10% average annual return, it could grow to around $175,000 in just 30 years. And that's without adding a single dollar to that investment. But if you invested $10,000 a year at 10% annual return for 30 years, you'd have almost $2 million. That is the power of compound interest and why it's so important to start investing now. Financial psychology insight. Many people fear investing, especially if they're new to it, because they're focused too much on short-term market fluctuations. But if you look at long-term history, the stock market goes up. Step number 7, reduce your expenses. Do you want to retire faster? If so, spend smarter. And if you want to reduce your spending, here are 3 pretty simple ways. Number 1, housing. Consider downsizing, moving to a cheaper area, or getting a roommate or 2. You'll save a ton of money. Number 2, transportation. Consider riding the bus, riding your bike to work. It's healthier. It's better for the environment. Or at least drive your car longer before you upgrade it. And number 3, this one's easy. Subscriptions. Review your credit card statements. Cancel those subscriptions you're not using. If you look to cut your expenses and you invest that money, you can retire so much faster. Step number 8, create passive income streams. What's the fastest way to retire? Make money while you sleep. And here are 3 passive income strategies. Number 1, real estate. Maybe it's house hacking, where you buy a duplex, you live in one side, you rent out the other side. Now, rental properties can be a great source of income because quite often they require time and energy and money to upkeep and to make sure that your tenants are happy and you're picking good tenants. Number 2, dividends. It's great to invest in index funds, stocks, and to not only see the capital appreciation of those stocks and those index funds growing over time, but also getting income that's spinning off as companies give dividends. And number 3, side hustles. Do you have a side hustle? I have several. I've always had several. Side hustles are great. You can do it on the weekends. You can do it at night. Many of these are online and you can earn extra income while you sleep. Even if you just earn $500 extra a month, you can retire many years sooner than you would otherwise. Step number 9, you got to plan for healthcare costs. Healthcare can be your biggest expense in retirement. A retired couple might need $300,000 or more for medical expenses. But here's how you can plan for it. First, an HSA, a health savings account. With these, you can save pre-tax dollars, invest it, and withdraw tax-free for medical expenses. Number 2, Medicare planning. Read up on Medicare. Know your coverage options before you retire. And number 3, you might want to consider long-term care insurance, or at least look into it. This could potentially protect you from rising nursing care, be it in-home or in an institution if you need it as you're getting older. And lastly, step number 10, stay flexible and adjust as needed. Retirement planning isn't something that's set in stone. You're going to need to adjust and adapt as you go. Life changes, and so will your retirement plan. That's why you should do these 3 things. Number 1, review your finances each year. Number 2, adjust your contributions after you get a raise. And number 3, reevaluate your investment choices as you're getting older. Why is it important to adjust and adapt? Because we also have market fluctuations. And if the market goes down, instead of selling, you might need to consider cutting unnecessary expenses for a year, delaying big purchases, or even taking on a part-time job for a while. And here's a financial psychology insight. People who track their finances regularly feel less stress and they feel more in control, and they make better financial decisions. Hey, if you found these tips helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'm dropping videos every week to help you build wealth, help reduce your financial stress, and help you start thinking rich. But I want to hear from you. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to retirement planning? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Your future self will thank you. I'll see you next time.